Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We have a very exciting emergency session for Gundam Battle Operation 2 because before you know it, the 6th year anniversary for the game is finally here. And I'm using this as a backdrop because we have the unveiling of the 6th year anniversary suit, which is, well, it's definitely mind-blowing. It's exciting. It's a lot of different things all at the same time. And honestly, I'm going to look into the reveal trailer with you guys and commentate in between it. It might be a little loud, so I apologize in advance because I'm still waiting for this caffeine to kick in because it is early for me in terms of morning time as this comes live, and I'm trying to make sure I'm comprehensible. But it's super exciting to see that, a suit that, well, let's just say we knew it was coming. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, here we go with that live, lovely, exciting opening that they always do now. It's a good change. Our new entry into the battlefield is... oh my god, okay. I don't know, of course it's got a banger of a theme to go along with it too. Holy crap. The Zai. Alright, Zai, what do we got here, buddy? Okay. Stun on hit. Okay. It's funny, I almost like the beam saber. It almost, okay, it's a thrust, but it looks like it uses the same assets as the Hainu. Vulcans are pretty good. I'm pretty sure they're standard as well. Missile launchers, pretty nice. Waist-mounted funnels. Oh, that's gonna be interesting. You know, honestly, I wish the Desert Zaku had that. I'm so bad with that. A head beam cannon. What? And of course, Minovsky Flight, just like the Violent Custom and its brothers. That's gonna be cool. Yeah, we're gonna have to probably go back to this a little bit. Flight form, boosting, okay. This is a lot to take in. There is just simply, oh man. Alright. 700 General. Our 5-star. Our very first 5-star. Alright, let's roll it back really quick. Alright. Yeah, I pulled this off of the thing here. Alright, so first things first. Like I said, the beam downswing is clearly a thrust. So we're gonna have a lot of fun following up with downswings on that one there, but I'm laughing because it almost feels like it's a reuse of the Hainu assets. But at the same time, it's not. Obviously, it's redesigned and everything, but it's just funny to think about. So one of the things that threw me off really immediately is the Minovsky part. Once we start getting into flight type stuff, everything else goes out the window. So basically, right off the bat, this goes into flight mode. It doesn't use any type of thruster consumption like other suits do because it's designed to be up in the air, which is weird because you got the Bylorant Custom, Bylorant, all its brother, sister units, whatever you want to call it. So I wonder if this is going to affect those at all. Probably not, because this is supposed to be a very, very unique suit that specializes in aerial combat. We kind of see a little bit of those aspects with the Messer types that are now in-game before this, and we kind of knew this was coming along down the pipelines as well. So this is not a surprise, but at the same time, it's like when it actually hits you, it's like, dang, this is crazy. But yeah, basically, no thruster consumption or recovery during flight mode, and it reduces thruster consumption when you're starting and you're utilizing essentially high-speed movement. Basically, you're boosting around. And it also reduces damage recoil while active, so basically it's like maneuver armor also. I'm pretty sure this is going to have maneuver armor, at least MA1. It's kind of absurd for it not to have MA1 on the ground, but we're assuming certain details. At the same time, yeah, it would be kind of weird for it not to have that, so it's going to at least have MA1 on ground in the air, hard to say how that's gonna affect it because, when you're dealing with stuff like that, I would imagine damage control would be effective on ground, but not. I don't know. I don't know how that would play in flight like this. Like, you guys might have a little more insight on that than I do. I'm pretty sure that might not even be a thing because it's just like, well, once you get flinched, you're falling out of the air. It's basically like getting knocked down and you're floating. So it's really weird. Anyways, moving down the line here, we do get insight as far as the flight form itself. So basically, when you're boosting at high speed for a certain amount of time, very much like the Delta Gundam Delta Kai, basically it enters into flight form, and I think the flapper is kind of like an airplane. They start opening up, and this increases mobility, reduces damage from beam attacks and stagger from cumulative damage. Primary range weapon can be used while activated, and melee attacks switch to special melee. Ooh. Yeah, you're gonna see this a lot. Alright, so during the special attack program, this is a specific skill, probably on its big shopping list of being a 5-star. If it destroys an enemy, unit thrusters will recover a certain amount. So, I think based on this, even though it does have a special melee, I think it feels like it's going to be like a range suit. It's going to be pretty flexible, but there is going to be a very much instance of it wanting to be aggressive, especially with it being able to attack vertically and kind of like not in a linear sense with like some of the other suits being kind of behind cover and all that stuff. The way that we're used to playing, I guess I should say, if you're not playing a flight type like this or anything similar. So that is going to be pretty nuts. But we got a lot of news to cover, so let's get into it because I do have some updates as well. All right, folks, here we are with the 6th-year anniversary. As we saw with the Xi Gundam appearance, it is now our first 5-star that it's joining in Gundam Battle Operation 2. And just to kind of give you some insight, there's some graphics here. Really, really neat design. Really cool stuff. We do have some updates to the battle simulator, as kind of expected. With 6th-year anniversary, we've always had changes. So it only took 5 years and then some, but we now finally have a big ZAM boss fight. So that's gonna be really cool. They will be releasing details in the future. So right now, unfortunately, we just have the unveiling of that. So if you guys aren't familiar with Battle Simulator, it is one of the PvE options that they have in game, at least in GBO2 terms, that allows you to kind of go into co-op essentially, or you can do it solo and fight against the boss in this case. They'll probably have a survival one as well. What they've done lately is essentially allow you to kind of try the new suit with the survival mode, I believe. With this one, you can throw whatever suit you can at it, and there is ranking for it, but it's usually pretty one-sided with that. So, but regardless of which, as a new player, the cool thing about these new Battle Simulator updates is that if you're hurting on tokens, you need some cool parts, some things to kind of essentially bolster your experience with the game. This is a quick way to get that jump started. So definitely look forward to it after tomorrow night's update at 10 p.m. So jumping into the details of our main suit, because we got a lot to unpack here. This is the highest rarity in Gundam Battle Operation 2. This is a 5-star, as I mentioned. There's going to be a skill that it has called Force Sortie, which allows it to essentially, because I skimmed it already, it allows it to scramble spawn at 700 cost, I believe this is 700, but at a reduced HP pool. And it can be used once every game. So it's not like every respawn or everything, so that's kind of neat. So this is pretty neat in the sense that you're able to do this essentially once, so it's not going to be like overly done. It'll be interesting, so we'll see. We shall see. But yeah, Force Sortie allow it to resortie immediately without the cooldown. So, and then you also have Raise Counter, which is less than a level HP remaining triggers a special counter, as expected. This also not reduces, but boosts attack and defense for your unit and ally units within a limited area. So it's going to be kind of like I feel like it's a variation of the Awakening that I think it was at Phoenix or the Norn. It's one of those two. It's really odd. I think it's Phoenix, honestly. But in this case, it also affects the attack and defense values. So that's pretty crazy. But yeah, 700 cost. Mafty, aka Hathaway Noah, is the pilot of this. Is part of the Mafty Anti-Federation group. If you guys aren't fully aware of Hathaway's Flash, which this is based off of, and basically is acquired from Anaheim Electronics, who developed the suit. And basically, I think this is like a 4th or 5th generation, 5th generation mobile suit. So this is quite a ways from, like, say, 1 Year War, 888, Zeta, Grips War, all that fun stuff, even CCA. So this is highly advanced. If anything, every time I look at this thing, this is like the Lamborghini or Pagani Zonda of, like, Gundam suits, because it's just so odd. Odd in terms of angles and all these different intakes and outtakes, but you know, they have some neat lore to go along with it, so it makes sense. But it also has a sister unit called the Penelope, so we know that's going to be probably following up probably almost immediately, if not in the near future. Basically, they both have Minovsky flight units that allow it to essentially fly around in the atmosphere. It also has a beam barrier, or I guess it has a built-in eye field as well, basically. But it allows it to transport into flight mode. In addition to standard equipment, it also has a machine equipped with funnel missiles, which is something we saw with the Kshatriya rebuild. And it can be used on ground. Alright, so jumping out, that's our main suit. We also have, in addition, we have up to 80 free supply drops for this 6-year campaign. Basically, we still have the 10 consecutive weekly pulls, plus for GBO days, for up to 80 free consecutives. Basically, it's 10 per pull, or 10 per 10 pull. So that's about 2 months, essentially. Yeah, 2 months worth of free stuff. We love our free stuff. And now, because of this update, this is also including a quote-unquote chance for the Xi Gundam. So, really, really neat stuff. This is, you know, regardless of which, you're going to get some free materials as well. So really need to go over. But as with everybody's curiosity, there is a special step-up supply drop for the suit. So basically, jumping into the details with that, that means a half off. So we get a full detailed spread of what's to be for this upcoming banner night. So first step, obviously, half off. We love our half off discounts. But the nice thing is, this is cutting off at 7 steps. This normally, I think, would have been a 10-step deal in the past. And it probably has been in the past. This is the first time where, you know, they made it a little more accessible. But, you know, if you do 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18... this is essentially, what, 195? That's 195 tokens just for the full 7 steps. So, I haven't been saving, unfortunately, but I know some of you guys that have been properly anticipating the anniversary drop, well, you have to hold no longer. So this is a really cool thing. I would say the nice thing about it is if you are kind of, you know, having to kind of, you know, I hate to say, drop so hardworking dough on this, you don't have to feel like you got to do all 10 steps, because that gets pretty pricey and really quickly. So really neat stuff. And like, even if you do all 10 steps, it does give you a dupe to kind of fast tune it. But realistically, if you want to pull for this really cool, unique looking suit, who am I to say to not do that? I can say that it definitely looks like it's really neat. And also, by doing the 7th step, you do get access to another custom part that they're introducing called the Special Strength Frame. This increases the HP unit by 5%, increases ballistic and beam resistance by 9, so this is basically like a level 4 part. Actually, yeah, level 3 defense part. And then They don't really specify how much space it takes up, but I imagine with both of these things, it's going to be very similar to the composite parts that they've introduced. So it's going to be quite a bit. So bear that in mind. It's probably going to be for some of the big higher cost suits, but you might be able to get away and throw that on some mid-sized suits as well. Of course, along with the 6th anniversary, do have 4 different volumes that they're going to be introducing. The first one is going to be a free 39 token thank you for playing the game, essentially, and showing their appreciation for the player base. So some pretty cool free stuff. Just kind of jump into some insight here. Basically giving it away. This is for anybody that's logging into GBO2, so you definitely don't miss your chance to get it. They also will have a bonus, I think, based on your login time. So if you've done 100 days, you do get an extra 10 tokens. Over 300 days, another 20. 600 days, 35. I definitely feel like I'm over 900, so I'm definitely at least 50 to 60 tokens extra. So it is going to be really cool, and you can actually confirm that on your Haro menu. Go to your Haro menu, database, play data, and basic data, and it'll tell you how many days have you logged in with Gundam Battle Operation 2. So definitely some really cool stuff there. That is for Volume 1, starting on July 24th and ending on the 31st, because by that time we'll have Volume 2 kicking in, giving away 50 moldable suits, which is really neat, especially if you're just starting out and you don't have quite the hangar base to boast about. So during the first week of that, starting also on the 24th, it looks like we have, for the first week, Double Zeta, Stark Jigen, the Pale Rider Ground Heavy Arms, the Hyakushiki Kai. We also have the GM Nightseeker Space Type MSV, the Char's DJ, Hyakushiki Girazulu EH, the Dual-Hand Pale Rider, which was a Halloween special for those of you guys that are not aware. We also have the Girazulu Angelo, Full Armored Gundam, and the Full Armored Hyakushiki Kai, and Nebo 3, which is all of these are pretty good if you've never had any of these. They're still pretty fun, and in the right hands, they can still do some work. On the second week, starting on the 31st, we have the Zeta Gundam Mark II, Zaku 2 Stutzer, I believe, which is a limited mission thing, which is still very strong at its cost, despite being a 2-star. I can't stop talking about it. It's really good. You also have the Aqua GM at 300, also. Prototype Gundam at 350 for raid. GM Spartan BD is now part of this list as a raid. Well, actually, it is the raid version, sorry. I get confused with the other one, the RG, sorry. And we got Bowl of Oats, Polnook, sorry. And then the Rick DS2 as part of that second week. And leading for the sports, we got Gunner Gundam, Super Isaac Cannon, Gun Tank 2. Jumping into the third week, we have the Gustav Karl, Gamfer DJ, the Zaku 2 FZ, not to be confused with the Zaku 2 Kai. We got the Hazel Custom in the mix there for the third week. Blue Desi Unit 2, the DS Ifrit, Nero Trainer, Boz, Gyaradoga Heavy Arms, Dom Multi-Cannon, and Zaku Desert Type Dual Antenna, which is, I believe, a Cyan suit initially too. And then closing out for that last week for the mobile suits, you got the Alex, the Cubile, the Vertex Kianos, the GM Custom, Gundam Marine Type, Ifrit Noct, Gundam Mark V, Bau, Gundam Guard Custom, the Game Walk, Dom Barrage, Full Armor Gundam Type B, and the Delta Gundam. Some really cool stuff, and you do also have some bonus mole suits for being logged in for as long as you have. So for over 100 days, you got the Blossom. 300 days, you got the Shazar Team A Jesta. Over 600, you get the Advanced Hazel, and then over 900 days is the Hazelint They. At basically that comes at 600, but over 900 days, and then over 1500, you get the S Gundam at 1 for 600 bucks. So really cool stuff for Volume 2. Volume 3 has some really cool stuff starting on August 7th. And just kind of show some things here. It's basically enhancement support packs. Now, of course, during this period, you'll get items for enhancing mobile suits while you're logging in. So really cool stuff. If you have, I think you're getting, what is it? The support pack. Let me make sure I'm looking at this. Yeah, DP to boost those tuning deals there, and then you get 1 to 3 star mechanic tickets and kits for 200 each as well. And then I think they're boosting hanger tuning as well. Now, of course, as with the login bonuses, if you've done over 100 days, you get a bunch of 4-star mechanic tickets and modification kits, and then you get some of the mechanic tickets as well, especially if you plan on unlocking the full potential of your Xi Gundam. Same for 300, 600, 900, 1500. As you can see here, the proportions of those mechanic tickets, modification kits, and the respective 5-star mechanic tickets go up significantly. Plus, all your bronze, silver, gold, platinum containers for rewards are boosted as well, it looks like. So, some really cool stuff. But yeah, powered up hangers, so everything's going to be tuning by multiplied by 3, plus great successes, plus campaign bonus of 20%, excuse me. There's just a lot going on here. Just a lot, ladies and gentlemen. The last celebration container that they've got going on also starts on August 14th. I think these are pulls, honestly. I could be wrong. No. So these are free stuff, sorry. Basically, 5 custom parts when logging into Gundam Battle Operation 2. So if you've been lacking parts, well, today's your lucky day too. Because now they're throwing the level 5 stuff. I've never had any of the level 5 stuff initially, as far as some of the crazy stuff. But if you're lacking on the resistances, you're getting the beam, ballistic, and melee level 5, which is really great, especially for some of the higher cost suits. You're also getting enhanced melee and firing program level 4 as well. So even though more than likely they'll be dupes, you're still getting stuff for that. I think you're getting tickets, for those. I think they're at least 2-star. Maybe 3 stars. Oh, that goes into your mold suit tuning. On top of that, based on your login bonuses, you're also getting Ox Generator 5 for 100 days, Melee Enhanced Program 5. So everything that you have login-wise, you get everything else before that. You're also getting the new model frame level 3, which is a really neat one as well. Especially if you're playing Tetris with your mobile suit. And they're also giving away the Psycho Frame level 1. I know this is one of the early parts that you got from, I think, 3rd anniversary with regular new and Sazabi. And that was pretty popular for a lot of the lock-on suits that had incoms and funnels. So this is really neat that they're essentially giving this away. It's going to be really cool. Alright, on top of that, we also have limited special missions as well. So on top of that, the first round, starting on the 24th during Anniversary, you have the Dom Cannon single gun type and the full armor Slave Wraith. I believe those are not in the DP store. So really cool things is, these are for the level 2. So if you have the level 1 and you want to round that collection, well, this is for the level 2. So not only that, I think some of these camos are new. I might be mistaken. I think they might have been limited time too. So if you're kind of trying to round out your collection, I would definitely do these for sure. So that starts on the Anniversary, starting essentially this Wednesday. Starting on the 31st, we have round 2 with the GM Raid. I believe this was a token suit that you can't buy. And this is also for the level 2 version as well. So I believe it is a base of 350. I don't have my game open off it, obviously, but I do have the first one, and it is a melee monster for sure. No roll, but I can vouch for this. This is a pretty neat suit. Plus, it's a GM Kai. How can you not like this? Especially if you're liking certain Federation suits. Also, you get the Prairie Camo, which is also anything that has gold like this around the frame. You're able to adjust the colors of this camo. So just because it's in a set palette does not mean that you have to keep it that way as well. Especially if you're trying to get some textures off on those new suits. And then this clan suit that was exclusive for people that did clan matches is now available for during this round 3 of limited missions. This starts on August 7th. And this is for the level 1 and level 2 versions of the GM Kai or Shadows. This is with the weapon rack. So it's a close support mobile suit. Really neat stuff. It has some decent damage, but there are some limitations with it. But it's still a pretty cool sight to see because, like, I think there needs to be a lot more emphasis on a lot of the grunt suits. But, you know, I digress. That's a small tangent. 3 color camo, I think might be new. I've never seen that in the recycle ticket counter or even the DP exchange, I think. So this might be something I might have missed on. But, you know, it's really neat. I would definitely use it, especially if I get access to it now. So that's some details there. Really neat stuff. Pretty sure the missions will be easy. And then, oops, I think I went too far ahead. Sorry, guys. Oops. Alright, round 4. Here we go. I'm pretty sure everybody's gonna be gunning for this. We finally got Makuve's Goof in here. This is gonna be a 300 native. I think this is also for 350. Not sure why they have level 2 on here. Might be a typo. Don't quote me on this. I'm just reading off verbatim here, but regardless of which, it's here. So I'm very curious how this is gonna stack up against the regular Goof because I'm pretty sure this is gonna have some updated tuning. But at the same time, this might be the incentive to do some updating with a lot of the older legacy suits, a lot of the regular basic ones to kind of see if they keep in line with, you know, being playable and etc. I know some people have certain opinions and they aren't necessarily wrong with them, but, you know, this is not something I'm working on, but, you know, we'll see. You also have Urban Camo, which I do have. This one you cannot color as far as customizing, although I think there is a customizable one you can get, maybe, in the DP exchange. Or it might be recycled. I'm not 100% sure. But still, regardless of which, yeah, I know everybody and their mom's gonna be gunning for this. I just know it. With that said, there is a limited supply drop for 72 hours that nearly went through the cracks. So this is post-edit Aoshi, almost forgetting about this, but this is pretty important too because this was also unveiled and has kind of low-key, kind of been stealthily been added, maybe, not necessarily added, but it's been stealthily cruising along the way and being overshadowed by the ZI. But we have the Sliferail. I don't even know how you pronounce that, but the Sliferail. It is a special ground Gundam type configuration from UC Engage, if we skip through all this for a hot second. And it's going to be a 350 cost general type that is pretty neat looking, designed for wetlands, jungle, and forest type of ecosystems. And it has 2 melee so far. But basically, on this limited supply drop for 72 hours, there is a special 10 pull discount from 4 carefully selected powerful mobile suits for the first step. 4 more carefully selected is, you know, the next step, and you're guaranteed 1 for sure. And then the last step being the carefully 4 more, including the guaranteed pull for the new low-cost suit, which, oh man, they're really getting us there. But basically, during the first step, you do have a chance to get the G07, the base one, which is pretty powerful at 500 cost. It is essentially very similar to the Perfect in terms of like melee power. But, you know, as it being a RX unit, it is a little more on the simple side as far as weapons. But if you're had experience with the support version, it too also has a grenade launcher and beam weaponry on its arms. Really neat suit, very powerful. It's definitely a lot of fun. You also get a chance to get the Musaka, Jetta Cannon, Metal Spiders, definitely I can vouch for that as well. A lot of these suits so far I could see really good being an option for that. I have this one, the Campfire High Mobility type from UC Engage as well. These 2 are from UC Engage, really neat. Well, obviously all 3 of them are, but really neat suits overall. I can vouch for them really well. They're very powerful in the right hands, and if you're wanting to learn them, definitely something worthwhile. I don't have the full armor Alex yet. Maybe I'll get lucky in trying to get the new general at 350, but I do want to kind of play this at some point as well, so it's just like, dang, they're gonna get me again. On top of that, we do have the Loto, which is probably one of the best 500 cost suits as far as the support goes, just because it's so small, very hard to target, especially if somebody that's really good with it can kind of stay out of harm's way and utilize that stealth mode in its little go-kart mode. I'm pretty much calling it a go-kart when it's in transform mode. You also have the Anksha at 600, Silver Bullet Suppressor, very good support at 650, and the chance to get Amuro's 3A set of Gundam, which is really neat. But yes, details again, as I scrolled and skipped ahead. This is a pretty cool, cool display. Like, it looks really weird because it reminds me of like something aquatic based. Like, I don't know if you've seen some illustrations with like aquatic creatures from like fantasy games and they have like fins on the side of their head. Yeah, this reminds me of that, even though this has like the ground Gundam lineage, and you kind of see that with a lot of the architecture. But that green hue paint kind of lends to that sort of Nautilus style things, which I think this is great. I guess that's why the name, it has that name too, but you know, I'm hoping you guys can let me know in chat. But basically, it's basically covert operations, painted in that way to kind of keep it camouflage, and has essentially a lighter backpack, and is utilizing a new type of beam javelin with like 4 blades, or patterned after a 3-section staff. Huh, interesting. Interesting. But it's only ground, obviously. So let's go ahead and take a look at this really quick. Just because we see the Zai. Still has the ground Gundam BR, Vulcans, and oh my god. I'm not gonna lie, I almost want to say it's a low-cost, feels like a low-cost Silver Haze, which is not necessarily a bad thing, honestly. That's really cool. Alright, moving on. Alright, with that we also have a special 6th year anniversary token pack available. They will be available after the update. It is going to be 3,300 yen, which if you want to do math and obviously currency exchange math, because that's not what I was hired for, that might be pretty affordable. That's pretty neat. On top of that, they have a special token pack for Mafdi, aka Hathaway Noah. So I'm assuming they're using the same voice actor from the movie. I'm assuming a lot with this because that's the only media that we actually had speaking parts on. It would be hard for them to use any other game for it, but I think this is really cool. I'm pretty sure somebody's going to use it. Might be cool. I might try it myself. On top of that, during this event, all items are 30% off. So all DP exchange and recycle ticket counter items. So once that kicks in, this is your time to spend all that DP and recycle ticket stuff. So hopefully they open up everything, because man, I got like 10k recycle tickets to burn. Okay, guys, please make it like one ticket. And actually, that actually might be a bad idea. Don't listen to me on that one. On top of that, we also have a boosted campaign for new and returning pilots. Cool thing about that is, based on you just playing the game, this boosts up your rank, XP, your clan points, and your DP rewards from just playing the game. So this is great. This does require you to be returning within 14 days of starting, or returning that, and you haven't logged in for more than 45 days. So this is going to be really cool. Kind of get you back up there. Details are going to be in their respective things. On top of that, for anniversary, if you're part of a clan, man, you're gonna get 5 times the clan leveling rewards. So normally you would just get 1 token, 10k DP. You're now getting 5 tokens and 50k DP. This is going to be absurd, especially if you are tuning suits and you're trying to get suits. So really cool stuff. Definitely be part of a clan before tomorrow. So, and on top of that, we have the new splash art right here. This is going to be probably the new menu art for the new suit, for the new anniversary, kicking off the 6th-year anniversary for Gundam Battle Operation 2. Courtesy of Hidetaka Tenjin. I follow this guy on Twitter. Really cool dude that has done a lot of artwork for a lot of different franchises, which include Mobile Suit Gundam. So seeing this kind of fleshed out from all sorts of things, it is going to be a hot summer with the Zai entering the battlefield. So I'm going to close out this for now because this is just a lot to take in, but we do have an opening of the new suit, which we'll see after this. So let me know what you guys think about the new suit. If you guys are going to pull for this, this is a pretty hefty thing, but I know a lot of you guys have been preparing for a long time for this and probably have been anticipating for a very long time. It is really a cool time to be a Gundam fan nonetheless. And I'll see you guys all in the next video. Take care.